Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today I want to do a tier list of every single team in Grands, minus one team that may or may not get banned from Grands, and the second place team also may or may not get banned. So today we're just ranking 32 of the teams. So yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, and let's get right into that top 5. So in first place overall, as you might already expect, I do have Cold, Peterbot, and Ritual. I do really struggle to see them not winning this Grands. They've been completely dominant this whole chapter. I mean, if you think they're not winning Grands, you're just genuinely wrong. You're just wrong. There's nothing else I can really say. Second place, also a very, very expected pick. I'm going to go with Acorn, Agers, and Poyo. Very solid team this whole chapter. Obviously, winning the last FNCS Grands. And I really think that they will succeed in den. And I see them in second place. In third place, I'm going to go with Kanata, Bolts, and Sphinx. So far, this list is very typical. Some people put Clix in this spot, but I'm going to go with Kanata. Obviously, a little bit of bias here, but I think that they will also do very well. Obviously, they are in this bit of like a surge trade situation, especially with Acorn, Ages, and Poyo over there, which in general is just going to give them an advantage, although it may be, it's kind of a scummy situation, but it's something that's going to work out for them, I think. In fourth place, I'm going to go with Muzz, Rise, and Yapko. Now, their drop spot did get slightly nerfed with their majority of their metal getting removed, like the quick farming metal. But I still think that, the drop spot is completely made of metal. They'll be able to get their metal, especially with the Gold River running right through their POI. And I also seriously doubt that we will not be seeing them in the top 5. Now I'm going to go a bit more controversial here, and I'm actually going to leave Clixy, Amazon, Higgs out of my top 5. And I'm going to go with Shadow Tyler Curve. They are now all 3 on 0 ping. They've been completely dominant. They killed Cold, Peterbot, and Ritual in an off-spawn fight. I just noticed I said Peter Bort here. And I think they could do really well. I mean, Demon's Dojo, not exactly the greatest drop spot on the map. We all know this, but I still think that they would do very well. For my top 10, obviously at this point, it gets a little bit more difficult of who I'm going to kind of put in this area. But I think immediately we have to look towards Clixiamso Higgs. Even though I didn't put them in my top 5, I'm going to put them 6th. Basically, my main reasons for this are that they no longer get the black market. They no longer have their AR to help fight for Surge. And with the massive Surge trading scandals going all around the map, they will 100% struggle to get Surge. Now, of course, they normally fought for their Surge throughout the Div Cups and Eval Cups. But in a Grands lobby, this is A, a lot harder. B, you need a lot more Surge. And C, they lost their 400 Chug Jug, their Mythic AR, their Accelerated AR. So it may be very difficult for them to get as much Surge. They may have to change up their strategies. So that's why I don't see them in my top 5. So I'll put them in 6th. In 7th place, I'm going to go with the Booga, Threats, and Rapid. Also a very, very, very solid team. This team not on the top 10, you're actually just trolling if you're not picking them to go in the top 10. And I think that they will succeed in this position. For 8th place, I'm going to go with Bucky, Okus, and Cam. They have been proving themselves time and time again. They just won a game in the Eval Cup Finals. And I think this trio can be very, very good put in the right position. Also, immediately, you can notice they're in the middle of this huge Surge trading scandal with teams like Acorn Agers, Kanata Bolts, and Booga, Threats, and Rapid. This will give them all the Surge they need, and with the Mythic Drum Gun, I can see them doing very well. In 9th place overall, I'm going to go with Aviv, Skittles, and Chimp. Uncontested Outlaw Oasis with that Volt, and obviously they're taking this building right here. They won the first game of Heats, and I can see them doing very well. This team is very underrated, and I definitely see them in my top 10. And to round out my top 10, I'm going to go with Reet, Cooper, Curly. You may say that I'm underrating them a lot here, and I might be, but I've not always been the biggest Reet fan. I think they'll be a very good team still, but I struggle to see them in my top 5 or even higher in my top 10. So that includes my top 5 and top 10. Okay, now for my top 15, this is the part where it gets, frankly, quite a lot harder. These teams are now all kind of grouped together in this kind of, they could do well, they could do terrible. A lot of these teams are contested. So let's just get right into my top 15. I'm going to go first off, we're going to go immediately with Diminished Braids and Visuals in 11th place. This team has been very, very good all throughout the Div Cups. I think Braids is very underrated. Diminished and Visuals been playing together forever, and I see them doing very well in about a top 11 spot. 12th place, I'm going to go with Bryce, Gimani, Osid. This is another team I'm picking to do. I really hope they do very, very, very well in Grands. They are contested, which is why they are not in my top 10. But I think they will be able to destroy the team that is contesting them off spawn, quite frankly. And I see them doing very well in about this 12th place spot. 13th overall, I'm going to go with another contested team. We're going to go with Doji, Joji, and Craze. This team is kind of, they could do top 5, they could do top 10, they could do bottom 25. For me, if they really struggle off spawn, they're not going to do well, obviously. But I think with the kind of dominance that we're seeing from Craze right now, I see them doing very well, and put them about 13th. I think they'll do very well in a position like that. For 14th place, I'm going to go with 20, Broken, and Liam. I think Liam is also quite underrated nowadays. 20, been around the community for a long time. I think that their drop spot of Canyon Crossing is quite underrated, and yeah, I think they can do very well as well. In 15th place, I'm going to go with Ozone, Void, and Golden. Also landing uncontested here. I think as long as you're uncontested and you are a pretty solid team, you can easily place in the top 15, top 20. And that's why I'm going to put them in my 15th slot. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here just so you guys can read the names. Don't know why I wrote them so small in this team. But this is going to be Dozer, Nut, and Aiden are going to be in my 16th place spot. This drop spot is where I land with my trio. And it's actually pretty underrated, this lake area. You get triple bat pretty much every game from here. I think they would do very, very well. In 17th, another team I'm completely underrating here in my opinion. This team could easily go all the way up, but just because of how north they are and because I don't really think the split is that good, I'm going with Vert, Taki, and Eshao. I know that's not how you pronounce it. I was told that's not how you pronounce it, but I can't remember how to pronounce it. So I'm going to put them in 17th place, which is still a respectable placement. I just don't think they're going to place that well. I'm going to fill out the rest of my top 20 pretty much with uncontested teams. So we're going to go with Catman, Amplify, and Larizis. Their draw spot is not that great. However, I think that landing here uncontested is going to give them a pretty big advantage over all of these teams out here that are pretty much contested. Next, I'm going to go with Creon, Tony, and Noisy. This trio was doing very well throughout the tournaments. I'm going to put them in 19th place. I think this, once again, this could be a team that we see in 13th, 12th, 11th. We could also see them, in 25th. But with Uncon Pump Power, I think they're going to do very well. However, they are not currently claiming the Jewelry Station, as that is being claimed by Vert and Taki. In 20th place, I'm going to close out my top 20. We're going to go with Decay, Polar, and Sinex. They are uncontested, but they are uncontested at a pretty terrible drop spot. So we're going to see them in about 20th place, in my opinion. For 21st, we're also going to go with an uncontested team of Aoxy, Pikes, and JoJo. Once again, Aoxy's kind of been around the community for a long time, and JoJo Fishy as well, around for a long time. But just, I don't think the drop spot's that good. Flat out. So I think they will struggle, and they'll place about here. Next, I'm going to go with Thetic, Fuzek, and Maniac. Obviously, I'm rooting for this team as hard as one can root for a team. I love Thetic. I think he's really underrated. But contested at Mozzie Mosses, it's a great POI, but just being contested, it's such a disadvantage. Next, in the next spot, I'm going to go with the team actually contested him, which is Noah W Plays, Chaos, and KazX. This team, obviously, Noah W Plays, I mean, he's definitely a content creator pro, but he's still a pro. But obviously, contested, not much you can do. Now, I've made a mistake here, and this team definitely deserves to go higher, so I'm going to reroute my tier list just a little bit here. We have Magma, Kazers, and Josh. They're uncontested with Wharf, although I think Whiffy Wharf is a pretty terrible drop spot. We're actually going to move them up into this 21st spot right here, and everyone, we're also going to move this guy up now that I'm here. So we're going to drop a couple people down here into the top 25 area, like Korea. We're gonna leave it like this. So this is gonna be my new top 25. Next place, I'm gonna go for my next contested team on the list. I'm gonna go for Polis, Jexy, and Jackals. Once again, conning Boxcars, which is a pretty terrible drop spot in my opinion. I don't see them doing very well personally. Of course, this team isn't terrible, but I think I'm actually gonna put the team that they're contesting above them. Just for now, I'm going to drop them down here. I think they're going to be the first team out of here, though. Next place, we're going to go with Eulogy, Phenom, and Yusuf. They're contesting Craze, who, as you can see, I have them all the way up here in 13th, which means I think they're going to do pretty terribly off spawn down here. However, if they do succeed, obviously Shining Spin being a good drop spot, they could move up the leaderboard. Next, I'm going to go with Enough, Haze, and Mafia. I'm sorry, you probably can't read those, but I just know the team off the drop spot. I'm going to zoom in for you. So the reason I'm putting this team so low is because Mafia has 300 earned. So it's their first grands. They're conning a team that is very, very good. So I think they'll do pretty terrible, to be honest. So I'm going to put them down there. Next place, we're going to go with Seek, Dash, and Veer. Now, the reason I have these 3 teams down so low is because, as of now, they are triple contesting each other at Kappa Kappa, which is not that great of a job to be triple contesting at this point. So, I'm going to put them all kind of in a row here. I'm going to put Silic next, or we're going to put Vorteca next, and we're going to go Silic after that. Now, the team that I have in 32nd or last place for now is going to be the team Zyre, Cyrix, and Naps. They just qualified about 20 minutes ago from LCQ. However, as you can see, the drop spot they're currently taking, they are conning Crime City, which is where our first place team is landing, so they are going to get last in Grands, in my opinion. This tier list is, once again, entirely up to my opinion. This also happened right after LCQ, so a lot of this could change when teams, for example, don't triple con Kappa Kappa, or a team takes a better POI, or stops double contesting boxcars. I mean, if Sandman isn't double contested boxcars, he's easily, like, here for me. But since he's contested, he's all the way down here at 25th place. So that was just my list. Some of them, honestly, are pretty inaccurate. Some teams can be switched around, but I think this is a kind of a great picture of what we can see from Grands.